Hi, welcome to another episode of Amputee Outdoors. I'm your host Glenn, and today we're going to go on a bike ride around the northern half of Lake Washington. We're going to go across two floating bridges, one of which is the longest in the world. And this is supposed to be a fairly intermediate ride, so we'll see how we do. It's about 21 miles. I think I can do that. I got 2 bottles of water and my camera, and I'm going to record the whole thing and bring you along. Now this is not a bike ride where I'm trying to get a lot of speed, go quickly, and just show you the same thing over and over again. I'm going to be having the camera at different angles on my bike, seeing some of the scenery that we're going past, and trying to bring you along and experience the bike ride more viscerally than you would normally in one of these videos. So I hope that works out. I hope you enjoy this video. Come on, let's get going. Today's journey starts at the South Bellevue Transit station. Crossing the street, you're going to be heading west to the Mercer Island Bridge. It seems to me there should be a crosswalk here. The old bridge to Mercer Island was much closer to the water. When I was a kid, my friends and I used to jump off it, just had to watch out for the cops and boats. The trail is almost all tarmac, except for this part where it's being worked on. If your bike doesn't handle gravel very well, you can pedal along the street and then rejoin the trail. There is also a detour in Mercer Island that you need to be aware of. It only takes you off the trail for about a third of a mile. I recommend stopping here at the Aubrey Davis Park for a break. Now these huge pillars are actually vents for I-90, which runs beneath this park. Here's where we start the long ride across the I-90 floating bridge, which is long, but not the longest floating bridge in the world. We'll cross that one later in the video. I stopped here to give you a panoramic view. In the southeast we see Mount Rainier there, and if we follow the road along in the traffic, we'll find Seattle out to the west. Now going a little bit further to the north, we can just see in the distance the Evergreen Floating Bridge. And if we continue around, there's Bellevue, where we started and we'll end the day. After crossing the I-90 bridge, you'll head up this short hill and go to the right. But first, take this little detour to look back across the bridge. Heading north, you're going to be on bike trails and roads, like this one that goes under this graceful old bridge. As you progress north along Lake Washington, you'll pass by Leahy Park, which is very popular this time of the year. A little further on, you'll find Madrona Park, and just at its end, there's this little dirt trail you can bike along. It dead ends, so you'll have to turn around at the end, but there's few people here, so you can get a little more peace and quiet. I was using a bike navigation app on my phone, and it started giving me some odd directions as I approached Montlake. At one point it instructed me to do a series of right turns that would basically be a big loop, putting me back where I started. I ignored those instructions. Here I'm going along the edge of the Seattle Arboretum. Perhaps I'll do a biking video through the park this summer. If you're planning on doing this route, be aware there's a lot of construction going on over 520 at the Montlake overpass. Having cleared the construction area, we're now heading east along the Evergreen Floating Bridge, the world's longest floating bridge. I stopped here at the highest point to give you a view of the North Cascades, Bellevue, and of course, the ever-glorious Mount Rainier. There's a couple of places you can pull over on the bridge to take a break, enjoy the view, and learn a little more about the history of the area. Yes, that's duct tape on my prosthetic leg. The carbon fiber has started to come apart. At the end of the Evergreen Floating Bridge, there's a viewpoint where you should stop to enjoy the view. I bet the sunsets from here are spectacular. From this point on, you're going to be biking on streets through neighborhoods, so be wary of not just the cars, but kids too. Here's another great viewpoint you can stop at to take a break. As you approach Bellevue, you'll get little glimpses of Lake Washington before heading into the city. By this time, I had drank both liters of water, so I figured it was a good idea to stop and get some Gatorade. Rehydrated, I started on the last leg of the loop through the old part of Bellevue and then south back to the transit station. Much of the trail back to the transit station is of an older vintage and much more narrow. Thankfully, I was the only one on the path, otherwise I'd have to cycle on the street, which makes me nervous. At this point, I had to join the bike lane on the road. Good day on the bike. I got some good exercise. I got to enjoy some beautiful views, and I got out and did stuff, and that is the important thing. I went out and got something done that's good for my body, and maybe not so good for my nerves with that traffic, but it was good for my body. So remember, my friends, even though we're missing a part, it doesn't mean we have to miss out. You can still go out there and do some things. Get out there, see what you can do. Enjoy yourself. See you out there.